All right.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Bertha.
Hi. Good to see you.
You too.
Thanks for letting me in.
Oh,
I hope this works out.
Of course. I'm going to put myself on mute now.
You're good. For join in. Okay, how do I get this up again?
Where are you? Alan? There.
What's happening?
I think
Hi.
I'm just waiting for everyone to sign
What's
in.
I'm going to say a quick hello, but I'm going to be eating, so I'm taking my voice off and my picture off.
Hi, Sherry.
Good.
Hi.
Okay. Why am I showing you? Why is it showing Sherry and nobody else?
No one else signs in just yet. As soon as everyone
There's 3 participants.
Yeah. As soon as everyone else signs in, I would give it another 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes even, because we're still 5 minutes early.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Freddie,
I had Karen here before. Why don't I?
Yeah, no. Let me just mute this.
Why can't I go down?
I mean, if you don't mind me munching, I'll talk to you, Bertha.
I had Karen
by
here before.
As soon as other people come on, I'm out of here.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm okay. Let me see. I'm trying to fix this. So, okay.
You
Should
got
be
my
okay.
email about the ends, right? No, it was long and drawn out.
The what?
Ends. Bingo. The bingo. My
Yeah, I got. Yeah, I got you.
All right, it's drawn out. I'm sorry. It was like all confusing because I don't know what I'm doing this summer.
If you're here, I'd love you to join us.
I don't know what I'm doing.
You know, we wanted to get an idea about how many people we would have, so whether we should have it, whether it's worthwhile, you know. So that's why I send out that memo. Most of the people don't respond. I don't know. I send out these emails and I don't know who opens it and who doesn't.
Today and see what you get.
Okay, we got 6. How come I can't get? Here we go.
Okay, hello, everybody.
Oh, hi,
I'm
Karen.
out of here now.
Karen, Iris.
Hi there.
Oh, Iris, what's going on in Modine? They said the school had had some
COVID.
cases, and they have
Yeah.
to wear masks.
So it went back to Zoom again, I think. Well, school is over already for most of them.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Which
Are
school
they-
are we
is
talking
everybody-
about?
Hello.
I don't know which school it was. But
Is
anyway,
everybody-
they're okay. Everybody's all right. And he was already vaccinated, the youngest,
Oh.
so thank goodness.
I
Good,
voted.
yeah.
So did I.
Yes.
So did I.
So did
There was
Barbara.
no line.
Yeah, it was
voted.
very easy.
I
It was
voted
so
early.
interesting to have to sign that machine. You didn't sign the book like we always do.
Right.
Right,
It was like an
Yeah.
iPad. Of course, they
Right,
handed me the stuff, and I thought that you felt just like you did it on the iPad. I went right to vote, and I put the thing in, and it said you didn't vote. So I said to him, I didn't realize you still had to go to one of those little booths and fill it out there, and then put it in the machine. So,
Right.
but I did.
Yes. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Melissa. We recognize you even with your mask.
I'm gonna close my video. Have a good meeting, everyone.
Thank
Thank you.
Bye.
oh, he is our speaker, I see, okay.
Hi, Bertha.
Hi, Adele.
Hi, Adele.
Elaine gave you the wrong message.
I told
No,
her. I
no,
let her
I
know.
emailed her.
All right, because he said he will do it for us. Did anybody respond yet?
Yes.
Yeah, I have 3, 4.
Hello,
5.
everybody. Libat from Israel is here.
Hello.
Hey, everybody. Pleasure to meet you all.
Oh, it's
And
so
Bertha,
nice
Nice
to
of
to
course,
meet
you
you
can add
too.
my name, Bertha.
Huh?
I
Yeah,
said you can
okay.
add my name to the
Well,
list.
me
of
too.
course you do. Well,
It's
she's going
nice
to
to
collect
meet
the
you
money,
too.
so you definitely can add her. I have to call, when we get enough people, I'll call him and find out if he's going to charge the same as he did last time, or if it's a different price. I really didn't even discuss that with him. And then-
Libat, hold on, Adele. I want to say hello to Libat, our guide today. It's so
Okay,
nice. It's so nice to meet you.
Hello, everybody. Pleasure to be with you this afternoon, this morning.
Yeah.
This is Karen Rothman, who's our Sisterhood president, and she's going to
Hello.
open the meeting in a little while. Let's
Hello.
wait.
Jess, if you can make me a you already, okay, I'm already a co-host. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All is good. We're ready. So whenever you want to start, if you want in a few minutes, I'll wait and give me the cue.
I think we should wait a few more minutes.
Yeah,
I
let's wait.
agree. I agree.
Yeah,
Let
it's
people
just
the option to
exactly
join us.
11.
For sure.
You know, it's called Jewish time.
Israeli time is even worse than Jewish time, so it's all
I
good.
don't know.
Welcome to your voice messaging system.
Who's HDISA?
2. First new message received today at 9:38.
who is that?
She's talking.
I don't know.
I don't know, but whoever it is should mute themselves.
Yeah. Who's
Well,
HDIA? Anybody know that? Okay.
Well, we
I
have
got
a
the
lot
email.
of people here with no pictures, so we don't know.
Oh, well,
I guess they realized and they stopped.
okay. Hi, Susan.
Hi, Nancy. I see
Good to
a
see
lot
you.
of the people.
Inez, did you have a nice birthday? Doesn't hear me. Inez, did you have a nice birthday?
Oh, thank you. Yes, I did. I heard from all my grandchildren and my daughters and went out to eat. The restaurant was so crowded, we walked to the next block
Really?
and went to Cafe Muscat and had a
Oh.
very nice meal.
It's hard to believe she's 120 years old,
Some days I feel it.
well preserved.
I'm catching up with you, Inez, right?
Yes, you are. You're 1 year behind me.
You're always older than I am.
Uh-huh.
And she's older than me too.
Mere babies.
It's a privilege to grow old. I always say that, but did it have to happen so fast? It happens fast.
Yep, the
We
days
didn't-
go
we
by
didn't-
quickly.
And
We didn't
Nancy's
think
birthday
that
was this.
Hello.
When we were children,
Hi,
it wasn't
Carol.
going
You
fast.
look lovely, Carol.
What happens when you just get out of the shower for 15 minutes?
Is it raining down in New York?
Not
Not
yet,
yet, but it will be.
Oh, it's
Yeah, it's
raining up
gotten-
here.
because it was sunny when I went to Shoal this morning, but it's now very cloudy.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna rain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they're
expect any
predicting
minute.
I hope to go voting between the
The raindrops.
Hadassah meeting and the UFT meeting.
Well, that's why I decided I came home from Shoal and went right there.
I'm sure there's not going to be a huge
Is the
line.
U-
It's not gonna be a
meeting?
huge crowd.
No, there was no
What's-
line at
Is the
all.
UFT meeting about the insurance?
Yes, well, one of the topics will be about health insurance. The meeting is at 1 o'clock. I'm gonna vote between the two meetings.
Me
We've
too.
already voted. We did our mail-in ballot because we knew we weren't going to be back home.
Oh, okay, now,
Oh, you're in Fox Hill.
Yeah,
How's your weather?
it's raining today, but we've had some good weather though.
Oh, good.
Call from Manuel Mildred.
Okay, I think we will start the meeting. I have to ask everybody to please mute so we don't hear any phone calls during the presentation. Thank you. Bertha, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, so
I'm not-
let me say
I
good
didn't-
morning all.
I didn't mute you.
Good morning, all, and thank you for joining with us. Over the past year and a half, we have worked diligently to continue to arrange Zoom programs that would inform and entertain you. Our last two programs for this year will be no exception. Monday, June 28th, we have arranged the patriotic program, Old Glory, the history of the American flag with patriotic music. So join us Monday night at 7:30. And for today's presentation, I'm going to turn the mic over to Bertha.
Okay, thank you, Karen. We make a good team. Okay, I just wanted to mention to you, you've all gotten my email and many of you have responded about planning the bingo game at the Ben's Deli in Bayside. If you haven't responded or if you know anyone who might be interested, please let me know because having the game will be determined on the number of people who have responded, whether it's worthwhile or not. So if you know anyone who has not responded, please let me know. And now I want to give you just a little bit of information about Hadassah, which I always do. And it's important about the work that we are doing and that Hadassah is doing. And one of the last things that I've gotten has to do with the, I'm sure many of you must have read this, about the bleachers that was erected at the synagogue in Givat Ze'ev neighborhood of Jerusalem, where it was Erev Shavuos, and it was very crowded with young men. And the top bleachers collapsed, which again you might have read. And after the ambulance brought please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. The ambulance after ambulance brought the boys to Hadassah's two hospitals. 100% of them had orthopedic injuries. And the doctors and nurses were called in from Shavuot lasagna and cheesecakes to operate all night. One new member of the Hadassah family doesn't eat cheesecake. His name is Stealth. Meet our newest robot. The Mesa X Stealth Edition combines technologies of both navigation and robotic execution. It takes us to the next level of accuracy. It gives us patient safety, and not only in drilling, but doing the entire surgery down to sub-millimeter accuracy. He was able to use Stealth as one surgery followed the next in a long night of repairing backs. To explain the relationship between man and machine, Schroeder compares the doctor and robot to a driver and modern car, which gives tiny corrections to the steering wheel if its driver veers slightly from the lane. It makes a big difference if you're working around nerves where, God forbid, you don't want to create a problem that didn't previously exist. In terms of technology, this puts us in the first place in the world. Once the skies fully open, Stealth will be part of the hospital International Research and Training Center in robotic use, particularly for surgeons in Eastern Europe. So this is quite something to have a robot. And interestingly, my son just had back surgery, and I mentioned this to him, and he says he just wants a doctor. But this is really quite a feat, and it's very important to what's going to happen. And now, Liat, I don't see you, but I know you're here, Libat. I'd like to introduce our guide for today. Where are you?
Hello, I'm here. No worries.
Okay. I didn't see you anymore. Okay. I'd like to introduce our guide for today to this new museum. It's not really new, but it used to be the Museum of Diaspora, which many of us have visited. So I'm really excited about this tour, and I'm turning this over to you, and you'll tell us about yourself and the tour.
With pleasure. So shalom, everybody. Hello from sunny Tel Aviv. I know you guys, some of you have mentioned rain. So in Israel, it's not raining at all. It's not schwitzing hot yet. It's almost July, but it is sunny and nice outside. And we're talking now from the campus of Tel Aviv University, if you can believe it. And as part of the campus is the Museum of Anu. Many of you have known it as Bet HaTfutzot, the Museum of the Diaspora. Probably you've known it from years back. It was established in 1978, and for the recent 10 years have been through a massive renovation and a rename. And the rename is Anu. Anu, the Hebrew word of Anachnu, we together, the stories of all of us being part of the Jewish people. So it's no longer diaspora and us or Israel, it's Anachnu, as a tribe, as a family member, sharing stories and sharing ritual culture. And without further ado, I would like to start our tour today with a few minutes of a video, one of my favorites video, tell us we are all one of the same story. So with that in mind, I'll give you your part of the story, first video.
I was exhausted. I heard the ship's horn, and through the fog I could make out lights.
Was it New York?
In my pocket I had nothing but $5 in my nana's old prayer book. But still I knew I will be all right.
How could you know that?
The first time in my life I felt free to live and free to succeed.
Is that when you started the business?
No, it took a while. Back then I knew about business like I knew about rocket science.
Where did you get the courage?
Faith.
Faith?
Yes, that's where courage comes from.
But what do you mean? How could you, practice the mitzvahs in secret? You whispered when reading the Torah?
Yes, whispered in the cellar. And the man Shuv The cellar door was locked.
Wow, Dushka. Everything's so different today.
For me, it's exactly the same.
What do you mean?
Remember what I told you when you went to Haiti after the devastation there?
Yeah, something in Yiddish or Hebrew, I forgot.
I told you that you were doing the most Jewish thing there is. Tikkun Olam.
Yeah, but after the earthquake, I just felt I had to be there. It had nothing to do with me being Jewish.
It has everything to do about being Jewish. I couldn't go on as if nothing happened, as if it was just another day at the firm.
But what about the death threats?
I was bloody scared. But to witness the injustice of apartheid and not take a stand, it was like living a lie. It reminded me of the stories my father told me of Lithuania.
But weren't you afraid to endanger yourself, your family, your social status?
מלא מעמד.
הייתי מאוד מפורסמת. את יודעת שהייתי קצת יותר גדולה ממך כשהזמינו אותי להופיע מול המלך?
המלך.
הייתי בת 17 כשהופעתי על הבמה של התיאטרון הלאומי. אחרי 3 שנים, כל המדינה הכירה אותי.
אז למה עזבתי זה? בשביל מה?
ህልማችን ለማሳካት ስንል ስንት ወር ነው በእግራችን የተጓዝነው ከዚች ሀገር ለመድረስ።
ומה גיליתם? שאנחנו שונים פה מכולם?
ይህ ገና እርግጠኛ ነኝ እንደሚቀያየር። ዛሬ እኔ አንቺን የወታደር ልብስ ለብሰሽ ሳይሽ እርግጠኛ ነኝ አውቃለሁ ሀገራችን እዚህ ቦታ ቤታችን እንዳለ።
בשביל כל דבר צריך להילחם?
Il faut parfois lutter. Il vous semble tout normal d'avoir votre bat mitzvah. Mais moi,
quand j'avais ton âge, je devais monter sur une chaise à la synagogue à Paris. Et j'ai crié tellement fort jusqu'à que tout le marais m'entende. Mon très cher rabbin.
Montre-moi dans la Torah où il est écrit qu'une fille
ne peut pas faire sa bat mitzvah. Alors, être juif signifie défendre ses croyances?
First of all, you have to listen to your heart.
Who says I'm not?
Look at me. Look at me for a minute, will you?
¿Pero qué idioma es ese, abuelito? Ese no es español.
Es ladino, una lengua que hablamos en nuestra familia hace más de 500 años. Tú sabes que nuestra gente está dispersada por todos los rincones del mundo.
And wherever we went, we flourished and succeeded, but never forgot who we are. We are a people of many strands, which make up one unique ongoing story. And that's why, my darling, we need to keep writing it.
With that, of course, we are all one of the same story, one of the bigger story than us. And actually, we did manage to do the renovation and we're reopened only last March, just almost 4 months ago. And in Israel, COVID terms are a bit better these days, so people can come and visit us. And now it's my pleasure to show you the amazing new interactive, modern touchscreens, holograms, videos, button to press. It's no longer sad and quiet. What we wanted to establish in the new museum is to celebrate being part of the story. So it's no more only bloodshed and wars and being sad, but to celebrate and be very proud and happy about who we are and be part of the Anu story. So let me introduce you with the new museum. So with that, here we go.
Welcome. It's so wonderful to be with you all on such a special day. Over a decade in the making, the moment has finally arrived. We are proud and honored to introduce the Museum of the Jewish People. A new museum deserves a new name. The Hebrew word anu means we, us, and it embodies everything the new museum stands for, a place where everyone feels they belong. So before we take a tour of the museum itself, here, for the first time, is our brand new name and logo. Anu, Museum of the Jewish People.
So we're now in the yard of Tel Aviv campus, the University of Tel Aviv. It's a sunny day like today. And in a minute, we will go in the very massive building that we have. And the museum, the new museum, actually is of three different floors, each one of them with its own narrative. So the highest point of the museum, the third floor, would be regarding the mosaic. What's my personal identity? Wait, where can I see my family? Where do I see myself? How can I find my grandparents? And different leadership roles and different celebration of being Jewish today in different ways. So that would be the first floor we're going to visit. We're going up our see-through clear elevator. You'll see Chodorov ceiling, the wooded ceiling of the synagogue that you saw from our ceiling. You see white city, amazing city of Tel Aviv horizon, Tel Aviv background. In the horizon, you'll see glimpse maybe of the Mediterranean Sea, the palm trees, and we're going to go right into the third floor of the mosaic of different families and different traditions under the same rooftop. So you might be observant or non-observant, knowing the Jewish holiday or doesn't know anything about it, speak some Hebrew, speak some Yiddish, or none of the above, and still find yourself here. So we chose 21 different people and different narratives for our profiles of what does it mean to be Jewish our time today. And on the walls around it, it's different portraits of family, from ultra-Orthodox, traditional ultra-Orthodox, to other families of any shape, size, background. And I know in the States it's not such a big deal, but in Israel it is a saying, it is a strong saying to say, in our museum you would see different backgrounds and you would see different families. It's not so obvious in the Israeli society, such as, and I want to hold it in here, from the left-hand side, for instance, you would see more modern tattoo, kind of like hipster even couple. Next to them, a Chabadnik, an ultra-Orthodox man. Next to him, if you see, people that are family from different backgrounds. And from the right-hand side, I'm going to play in a minute, Abba and Abba, dead and dead. As a saying, we celebrate different families. Again, maybe for you guys it's obvious, in Israel society, it is an educational, strong saying of we accept all families with different beliefs. So that's what we have in here. And we will now celebrate one item that the curator would like to share with us. It's a special amulet, and it comes from Europe, from Italy. Let's hear the story behind one tiny little object of our museum.
This magnificent amulet is on loan to our museum from a private collection in Casale Monferrato, Italy. It has an outstanding story. It was gifted to Elda Wallenberg-Corinaldi on her wedding day on April 1925. During the fascist regime and the Second World War, the Corinaldi family had to flee their house not before concealing all their valuables in a double wall in their house, which was later seized by the Italian military. 2 years after the war ended, the family returned to their house to find all their valuables awaiting them, including this amulet. This is a typical Italian amulet, also known as a shaddai. It has beautiful ornaments on it and also an amulet for protection inside of it. We're very happy we'll have this on our exhibition.
So we saw how they sealed the double wall, sealing their valuables in between in the fascist regime in Italy, and made it safe, made it back safe to the same spot and find their valuables. And in here, next to it is part of our Judaica collection. And if you can see, in this Judaica, we have both silverware, expensive, unique, rare silverware of Shabbat candles from your left-hand side down in the screen. But if you'll see to the right-hand side, you'll see a little plastic white cap. Nothing much. Plastic cap in a Jewish museum. How can it be? Because the plastic cup is venetala. It's to wash your hands before the blessing if you're having an observing Jewish life. And it's cost maybe 5 shekels in the shuk, in the market in Israel. How can it be that we have such expensive, unique silverware next to a 5 shekel shuk venetala plastic cup? That's part of what we say is Jewish day life. My identity is both in unique events and in day-to-day life. So we have place for modern items, expensive items, and very day-to-day, very simple items as celebrating what does it mean for me being Jewish. And in the same Judaica collection that we have in here, one of the favorite items that we have is Kiddush to go. What is Kiddush to go? Kiddush cup for saying the blessing of Shishi Ba'erev, of Friday night. However, it's like Starbucks coffee, right? In a cardboard, in paper cup, kind of like I'm taking it with me. So I'm taking the Kiddush, I'm taking the blessings, I'm taking some of my identity on a day-to-day. So on your way, running errands, Kiddush to go with you in a paper cup as a saying. That's the artist, a New York artist, by the way. That's his way to say, that's how I celebrate my Jewishness. You can like it, you cannot like it, but you will not be indifferent to it. And in our museum, our goal is not to say, you should do this, you should do that. That's not our goal. Our goal is to ask questions, to have people talk about it, and think behind the daily life. Think what's right for you. Want to explore more. So Kiddush to go is one of the items helping us do such. And in here, pioneers, musicians, fashionable items, and in here the guitar of Leonard Cohen, famous singer, and alongside, just next to him, RBG collar. You guys probably know a lot about RBG. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the Supreme Court judge that has been a pioneer for many, many years, but for many Israelis, it's the first time that they're hearing the name RBG. So it's education for us as well. We were very lucky to have Ruth signed a dedication to the museum just a few months before she had passed away last year. So we have her book with the dedication and a collar, and she's part of our pioneer and people of leadership, of unique leadership that we have in our museum. And after Ruth, we're about to go down to the second floor. And if in the third floor, we celebrated personal identity and personal leadership, in here we're talking about communities, different communities throughout times, from Ukraine in Europe to Yemen to Tunisia and Libya in Africa. And we want to show the journey in a special modern way. So what we did is we had a video taken from showing the journey of the Jewish people, of Am Yisrael, from Abraham, our father in biblical times, to our time, to today. So you would see in 6 minutes on a huge globe, on a huge map, the journey, actually on the map, the different journeys of the people of Israel and different events that have happened throughout times. And in here, I want to stop for a second. And I would like to ask you guys, if we're talking about different journey in different states, etc., I want you to share, at least some of you, if not all of you, where did you ancestor, where did your great-grandpa came from? So it's not you nor your parents, because it's probably going to be US or Canada, but generations before. What's your roots? Let's hear it. Who would like to share?
Belarusia.
Belarusia. So we have one. I'm going to count. My bet for today is at least 6 different countries. So Belarus.
Austria-Hungary.
Poland.
Austria-Hungary.
Hungary.
Romania.
Romania.
Poland.
Yeah,
said it right.
One more Poland.
Germany, but now Ukraine.
Ukraine.
Lithuania.
Lithuania.
Minsk.
Minsk. It's in Russia these days. Yes.
Germany.
Germany. What else? Do we have anyone from other
Austria.
From Austria? Great.
Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia. We have 10 so far. Did we miss anyone? Anyone in particular?
My husband's family is from Iraq.
Iraq, 11. So we have 11 countries so far. And me, I'm not adding anything new because we already said it, but Poland and Romania, how surprising. So we heard
in
a
Germany.
lot of Central
We
and
can add
Eastern
Germany.
and Germany. So a lot of Europe and East Europe we heard in here, and we have Iraq as well, but only in such a small group. We're under 30 people, and we have 11 different countries, which means your great-grandpa talked of a different language. Would it be Yiddish or Germany or Romanian? So it's not so clear that all of us understand English these days. It's not so clear that we are free to talk Hebrew if you want to. It's not so clear that you can be whoever we choose to be Jewish-wise, because maybe our great-grandpa didn't have the same option in life. And with that having said, let's continue our tour through the museum and see what else we're about to see. So from the world map, and we saw where you guys are coming from, we're gonna go back in time and see one more curator item, object in behind the scenes of our museum. A journey.
This Esther scroll is from the beginning of the 16th century. The analysis of the parch and the Hebrew letters revealed that it was probably done by a person who fled Spain to northern France and settled in an Ashkenazi Jewish community. From France, it traveled to Fez, Morocco, to join its renowned Sephardi community. This scroll arrived in Israel in the 1960s and was donated to our collection lately. From Spain to northern France, to Morocco, to Israel, this Esther scroll traveled in the footsteps of Sephardi Jews.
So we saw the Torah scroll from Morocco to France to Israel, and we are lucky enough to have in our collections all kinds of different objects. And we ask questions, as we said. So can you be both Hellenistic and Jewish with Jewish identity? And in here we are about to see a community in faraway mountains of Portugal, of a little village called Belmonte. And in Belmonte, in the little further away remote village, the people there were absolutely sure that they are the only Jews left in our world. First place, I have to admit that when I heard the story, I was sure it's an urban legend. You know how they say, like an urban legend that was never, someone invented this story. It's not for real. However, the curators did say it's for real. It is a story, such a story that they were sure up till 60s, 70s of the 20th century. We have New York Times, we had Flight, we had television, and the people in Belmonte, far away mountains, had no idea that the Jewish people are thriving and making successful in North America, successful in Europe, in Israel, and they were sure it's unsafe to be Jewish. What you see in here is a little oil candle. It's on the size of the palm of my hand, and the little candle was lit in secret, either under a desk or either in the basement or either inside a wardrobe, inside a closet, because they were sure, like the conversos of Spain Jewry, that it's unsafe to be Jews. So in this picture, black and white, you see the lady actually lit a candle within a cupboard. So is it so obvious that it's safe to be Jews? Because even in our days, in North India and in half island Crimea in Russia, some people are still hidden or not sure or doesn't have all the information regarding what's going on in the Jewish world. So with that in mind, we're going to what should we do in the 20th century? Should we integrate ourselves to different cultures? Should we go from shtetl, little village, to the big city? See in this picture, for instance, the grandma is very much of the older world, of shtetl, of Fiddler on the Roof, of Yentl, of Jewish life within a closed community. Her grandchildren just sitting next to her is with uniform of schools, education, big cities, being part of the general culture alongside with being with Jewish faith. So different identities. And of course, we cannot go on without the big migration from Europe to North America, such as your stories. So almost 2 million people have crossed over the ocean from Europe to North America, whether it would be to New York, to Florida, to Canada. And one of them was Yitzhak Bashevis Zinger, the well-known novelist, writer, and we're going to see now his typewriter.
This Hebrew typewriter belonged to the great Yiddish author, the Nobel Prize for Literature laureate, Isaac Bashevis Zinger. Bashevis Zinger immigrated to America from Poland shortly before World War II. His wife and baby son were left behind. They later immigrated to Israel. Years later, Bashevis Zinger renewed his relationship with his son and often came to visit him in Israel, and during the 1970s, even stayed here for a few months. And this is his typewriter on which he was writing his books during his many visits in Israel. He left it to his son, who left it to his daughter, who donated it to our collection to be displayed in an exhibition about modern Jewish literature.
So in a minute, if I'll go back, you know, when I'm talking to the younger generation, to my kids, to your grandchildren, they have no idea what is this thing, because all of us are addicted to this material in here that I'm holding in my hand, our iPhones, our touch screens. So typewriter, just imagine you have it in your house and actually have special ink and with the paper and rolling the paper, etc. It's kind of like as if it was archaeology item. And with that in mind, I would like to ask you now for a mission. This is the audience participation part, so please play along. To have an item, to have something from the room you're sitting at, look around you. It can be a special ring, a necklace, a shoes, Chanukiah, special book, special picture that you can tell us something about from your family story, from your special memory. So look around you. Don't be shy now. It can be a clothes item. It can be a notebook, a family picture that you want to share a few words regarding the story behind. I'm going to let you have a minute or two, a few seconds. Whoever is ready can go first. And you'll see sharing put such meaningful to our conversation, such meaning. Bertha, look on the books behind you. Anyone? I see Carol and Susan have got up to bring something, I presume, in Iris. Iris, do you want to go first? Iris. Go ahead, unmute yourself. Yes, Iris,
Yes.
we're with you.
I have a mortar and a pestle. This is something that I have from my grandparents.
Show it again.
Okay, it's I think it's bronze. It's not cleaned very well, but it's bronze, and I guess they use it for mashing things, or I
Spices
really don't
maybe, or coffee?
Could be, I don't know.
Where do you have it from? Tell us a bit about your grandparents. How did you get it?
I guess it was given to my mother once my grandmother passed away. So I have this, plus I also have her candlesticks, but they're not the ones that she said she came with, that they were stolen on the boat, and she ended up with the ones that we have, which I could go get
So
too.
many stories of similar backgrounds, so many stories of people that have come with cherished things on the boats and somehow didn't manage to have them with them.
Yeah, they got exchanged for others. I could go get those too.
That's okay. Who would like to share next?
I do.
I do. Who is it? Oh, go ahead, Simone.
My grandmother made this by herself. She used to, her family had a metallurgical factory in Warsaw. And
Wait, say again, a metal?
Metallurgical, where they build, they used to have a contract with the Polish government to make the uniforms, buttons, buckles, so and so on.
Wow.
So she used to design things and metals by herself. And she did this paperweight, is the only thing I have left. Her candlesticks, all of her silverware was either taken or stolen, who knows. We actually, our family, I was born in Cuba, from them coming to Poland, from Poland to Cuba. And this is the only thing I have left of her, which is a paperweight. Design is a lion laying down. And
amazing.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. So, and just imagine if they hadn't make the extra trip from Cuba to the US, maybe your life or your family would look totally different.
Exactly.
You know, some people told me stories that's fascinating, that they got the wrong boarding ticket, the wrong ticket for the boats.
Sure.
So they were sure it's New York, but it was Buenos Aires or it was Sao Paulo. And now we have very big, very, amazing communities in Latin America and South America as well. But question mark, what they had in mind. Who else would like to share? Thank you so much, Simone.
You're very welcome.
Who wants to share next? Carol, please go ahead, Carol. Unmute yourself, Carol, so we can hear you.
Okay. This is a picture of my grandfather. Is the seeable?
Put it a bit up so we can see better. Could it? Yeah, that's better. And close to the computer. Or further away from the computer. Sorry, the other direction. Okay. What do we see in here?
Okay, this is my grandfather. He came from Austria-Hungary. He thought this was the Golden Medina, and he was sure that the streets were paved with gold. And he wrote Torahs. He was Sforum. He had Sforum store. He wrote Torahs, and he wrote mezuzahs. You can see in the background here, there are...
Hold it up higher so we can see him. Yeah, that's better.
There are Telesim in these boxes that he had done the tzitzis for. He taught my mother how to knot the tzitzis as well. And named after his mother, and I have her candlesticks from Europe that she had given to one of her daughters who came over. And since I'm the oldest granddaughter, they're bronze like irises, and they are so heavy, if they fell on your foot, they'd break your foot.
Wow.
They're really they're very tall.
Thank you so much, Carol, for sharing. So wait, so if I got it right, I'm not sure. You named after your grandma?
My great-grandmother.
Your great-grandma.
Exactly.
Thank you, Carol.
Named after Hayadina, and that was her son. And she came here later. My grandfather came with his father, and he brought every one of his brothers and sisters and his mother over. And he had this little store in Brooklyn, this farm store, and he became a mishgiach later on. But originally, before he had this, he had a hardware store on the same block with Mr. Fortunoff. One of them did very, very well. So then Grandpa.
So there you go. That's part of your family story. Thank you so much for sharing, Carol. One last sharing story. Who would like to go? I'm looking.
Okay.
If you raise your hand, please. Oh, Susan, go ahead, Susan. Unmute yourself, Susan, so we can hear you.
Can I show you this in the meantime? Bertha?
Susan, can you unmute yourself?
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, my oldest aunt from my father's side came. She was born in Austria, and she eventually married and immigrated to Argentina. And we have several items from her. Two of these were like brass.
What is it? Closer to us. What is it? Like little tiny cups?
Brass. I guess they were used to drink tea, or I guess
mate, the Argentinian
espresso.
tea.
Also, and I also have, besides that, also I think brass straws made out of metal to drink tea out of. Oh, hello?
Yeah, we listen. Nice
Oh, okay.
memories.
So, no, she gave me quite a few items. There's a spoon and straws made out of brass also to drink tea out of.
Thank you so much, Susan. And it is well known that in South Africa they drink tea with those long straws.
Yeah.
And it's part of the culture. And Bertha, I know you wanted to share, right?
Yes. I actually have two very interesting books. One is, and they're both in German. One is Escoffier.
Even higher, a bit higher, Bertha, just for a second.
Can you see it?
Yeah, now we can see it. Perfect.
It's in
so
German,
what are those?
And it's a very detailed book, a cookbook, but it's very detailed. It doesn't just have recipes, but it tells about them and exactly what to do about it. I can't read it anymore. I got that from my uncle, who was a chef. And during the war, he was interned in Theresienstadt. And because he was such a great cook and they needed him, thank goodness the family was saved. And he passed on these, he knew I liked to cook, and he passed on these cookbooks to me. I don't know what to do with them at this point.
Cherish it.
I also have this very interesting, hold it. Let me get to the beginning of it. I have this very interesting Bible. Can you see?
Hold it a bit up, a bit higher. It's in German too, right? Yeah.
Also in German, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got this probably from my father-in-law. It's dated 1828. It's a German Bible. It says it's the New and Old Testament, and it's after Martin Luther, based on Martin Luther. And again, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I have it in the house now. It's very interesting, all these things.
Thank you so much, Bertha. Thank you for everyone for sharing. So we see we have in our home some items that might in other times would go to a museum or would be part of a collection telling the bigger story of our parents, of our family, of what's our part of the bigger picture, if you may. And with that in mind, let me take you to the first floor of our museum. So we were in Mosaic, we were in the journey in different communities and items, and now we are in Jewish cycle of life, the yearly, the week. What do we have on a yearly regular schedule of Jewish? So it's between Rosh Hashanah and Sukkot and Passover, and we saw a glimpse, and I want to go back, we saw a glimpse of a very interesting modern exhibition that we have. You see the half, people are saying it's like pizza, right? Those circles, those black and white circles. It's actually a wall with a video art that it's like ultrasound when pregnant ladies take ultrasounds for the baby. Some people say it's kind of like a space photographs that you may take, but it actually show the time until next Shabbos, until next Shabbat. So we would have kind of like ultrasound clocks for when is Shabbat in Australia, when is Shabbat in New York, when is Shabbat in Yemen, when is Shabbat in Israel, because Shabbat is the resting day and a special value, it have a special place within Jewish life. So weekly and yearly, the Jewish cycle, the values and the heritage that we have within us. And with that in mind, in a minute, we will go out of the museum and we will zoom out to see amazing sunset over Tel Aviv city and over our building. It was an online tasting flavors of our museum. What highlights, what special items we have on our exhibitions. And of course, we couldn't play with the interactive, but many of our objects are interactive when you press and you choose and you see your own family and you see your own areas of interest. And this is Tel Aviv city at dusk, if you can believe it, from the bird's eye. And we're going to go right back to the building within the Tel Aviv University to ANU, the Jewish People Museum. We have a lovely rooftop for events, for special occasions as well. And we would love to hopefully have you in better days when it's going to be safe for all of us to be on airplanes again and to go and have freedom without masks and without having to worry of COVID-19 that have affected all of our life in such a major way. Hope we will see you in Israel. Hope you will have a safe, good summer. And it was such a pleasure showing you only some of the items that we have in our brand new museum. So thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good.
Anybody have any questions?
Did you say that the museum is inside the Tel Aviv University?
Yes, it is. We're part of the campus. Our building is part of the campus yard.
Do you get many visitors these days?
Many of them, and it's rising. The numbers are in rising because just this week, few days ago, the Ministry of Health in Israel allowed people to go with no masks and with no limitation of numbers. However, I'm putting a question mark. However, news-wise, only at the news today, in the news of Israel, we have new pandemic, new COVID cases, new people just today. So no one knows. For now, it's safe, but no one knows where it's heading.
That's all over the world.
Yes, it's all over the world. I wish you peace and I wish you an amazing, safe, great summer.
Thank you. You too. I have a question though. Go
ahead.
Do you still have like models of the synagogues, or is that gone?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We actually kept those. That's the only thing that we said we have to keep. And we actually have over 30 of them, exact same that you remember. But what we did is renovated them so they would be with light, always better. We put it in a better, how do you say it? Dioramas, so we can keep
dioramas.
Yes, so we can keep it curating.
Because that was an important part, I thought.
Yeah.
We
Yeah, I
actually,
like that
if you have interest, we have a whole online tour only of Hallelujah of those synagogues around the world. So we have online tours going in between them, and we go to all continents and tell the story of different models.
Oh, there's another program, Bertha. I remember that.
I'm being honest. Yeah.
When I was there the last time with my grandson, because his bar mitzvah was in Israel, and we went to the Museum of the Diaspora, and he was fascinated by all the different temples. That's the thing he remembers most.
We still have it, and let me tell you, I think you would agree that our Times Bar Mitzvah guys would like our renewal museum even more, just because of many touch screens and interactives. Because distant generations.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
That's what works.
Yeah.
Thank you again, everybody. I'm going to go to my next tour. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Shalom.
Thank you so much. Liba.
Thank
It gives us an insight and wanting to go there in person.
Wishful thing. I wish for all of us that it would be safe to travel wherever we choose to travel to.
One more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you still do genealogy?
Yes, but you don't need to come over. Everything is there digital. It's online. So if you
Yes.
go to our website and you would
Okay.
put under our website database, you would have my heritage and family trees, and so you don't have to physically come anymore. It's online.
Libat, what
Yes.
does your name mean?
My name is Lee Bat. Lee is my or I have, and Bat is daughter. So it's I have a daughter, my daughter. Funny enough, I'm the oldest, and after me it's two boys. Who knew? It's my daughter, I have a girl, I have a daughter, but after me, two guys, two men. So there you go.
Very nice.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's really wonderful.
Pleasure. Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay.
So what did you think?
It was lovely.
Well
Yeah.
done. Very well
It was
done.
delightful.
Very nice
Yeah.
program.
How are you?
Yes,
Very
it was
good.
very interesting.
I said very
I think
nice
I would have
program.
liked to see a little bit more.
Yes, it was short but sweet.
Very nice.
Yeah.
But it was presented very well.
Well,
Oh,
she
yeah.
just wanted to give you an overview, and then we could do for another program or two, do some, more in depth.
They do
Hey,
have.
we have a whole
they do-
year.
Yeah, they do have several programs that you can, that you can avail yourself.
Yeah, well, we should keep it in mind.
The next thing is to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll
I'll go
all
in
charter-
September.
We'll all charter a plane and go.
Right.
That's a good idea.
Are you gonna pay for it, Bertha?
The next Hadassah trip?
Sure. Actually, Hadassah's having a trip, I think, September, October.
I'll be there in
But
September,
where?
October.
When are you going?
I'm going September 18th
Oh,
at
wow.
night. At night, yes.
Oh, wonderful.
Terrific.
Yes, I need to see my family.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't blame you.
I mean, I planned it for last March, last year, so
right.
it's about
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Oh, that will be great.
Yes, thank you. All right, have a good day, everybody.
Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Everybody be well.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, so everybody, please open your emails when I send them about Hadassah, and let me know that you're opening it, so I don't send those in vain.
Thank you.
And if you want to
Thank-
make a donation, we're all open. Hillcrest Hadassah hasn't had a fundraiser this year, but we really need it. So anytime you want to make a donation, send it to Hillcrest, and I always pick it up. And I thank you in advance. Okay, goodbye, everybody. Everybody's leaving. Hi, Gertie and Werner. Good to see you. I'm glad you joined us. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. I can't hear you.
All right, that was a good
Okay,
program.
very good.
Nice. Was
Did
good.
you like it?
Yeah.
Yes, you didn't change at all.
Huh?
You did not change at all.
Why?
You look the same as always. You
I
look
can't
good.
hear you. You do too. Did you watch it too, Melissa?
Yeah, I was just gonna tell you that was so lovely. I love the amulet from the heart that was like kind of like a heart. That was the wedding. Oh, I love the amulet. The amulet that she showed. That was like a heart shape. That was so beautiful.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
I loved hearing everyone's stories with their personal items. That was also so nice. I love that. Good job.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good seeing you all. I guess we're going.